Hi folks, right, I'm out in the shed and we have this Karcher WD3P. This is a vacuum for the shed, cleaning up sawdust and all this kind of stuff. And as you can see, it's plugged in and there's no power at all. So I have a funny feeling that the brushes are gone in this. It's only a guess. I'm not too sure whether replacing the brushes is going to help, but I've ordered new brushes and a new filter and a new bag for it to see how we get on. I'm going to replace the brushes, so we'll see how we get on with it. So first of all, we need to take off this. Right, okay, now this Karcher doesn't use Phillips screws. It uses torque screwdrivers, so I'll just get me torque screwdrivers. So we've taken the last screw out there. We'll take the top off, and what you have here is the actual motor, and the motor is connected to two cables there. So just take off these two, and what you have left is just the motor, and inside the motor is obviously where the brushes are. Right, we'll take that rubber part off, and if we can see this on the camera, that's the brush there, that's one brush, and that's the other brush there. So we need to take them two out and replace them two brushes. So ideally what we should do is, we need a Phillips screwdriver. Loads of dogs barking around here for some reason. Right, that's one screw out. That's another screw out. Okay, so we need to take out the old brush. Okay, so if you can see that brush is well worn compared. Let me get a new one and show you what it looks like. That's what the new one looks like. That's the old one. That's the new brush. So instead of taking two of them out, what I'm going to do is I'll take the one out. I'm going to push this in. I've just noticed that there is a change with this one here. It has a flat side, but the one I got from AliExpress has a kind of round side. So I might need to have to file that down just to get it to fit in. Okay, so this is the other brush. It's not as bad, but it's still bad. So again, that's a flat surface there. It's flat there, but this one is curved. So I'm going to have to file that down. Let's move this over here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just filing down the side just so it's not round, so we can fit in. Okay, so the two brushes are now installed. So we'll put the motor back in, hook up the cables on the side. Okay, it's just a rubber seal that's trying to get that rubber seal on. Is it just a pain? Okay, so the brushes are in, and I'm just making sure the power's off just in case the button presses accidentally. The brushes are in. The motor's back on. We now have to put this back in. Has to go on that way. Okay, so we think that's the way it has to go. So right, okay, so all the screws are done. What we need to do then is to put the new filter on, and we have a little plastic cap which goes on the filter there, just to keep it locked in. Okay, that way. Turn it right, and then we have a bag that we can put on for inside the bag will attach to this. Let's hope it all works. Right, let's put this back in. And lock it down. Okay, so what we've done is, I think the issue with this Karcher was with the brushes, and the brushes were worn out. We could see how bad the brushes were, See how badly worn they were. So I think it was the brushes, I'm not sure. So by using the cheapest option to replace the brushes, we'll see how we get on. If it doesn't work, then it could be the motor that's gone, okay? But we don't know, so I took the cheapest option. So let's see what happens. So we have power on. Okay. Okay, so nothing there. So it could be that the motor's gone. Now I'll put the hose in just to make sure that there's nothing where it's saying you need to have a hose or something on it. Some kind of cut off system. Right, let's see. No, nothing at all. So chances are it's probably the actual motor that's gone. My guess is I did check the fuse, and the fuse is fine. So if the fuse is okay, and I put new brushes in, nothing at all. Okay, so I have a little kind of a adapter here to check for electricity. I just want to make sure there's power going to the cable, and there's power going to the cable there. So there is power getting to the actual hoover, the Karcher. So I don't really know. I think I'm going to have to replace the motor now. It looks like the motor's gone now that the brushes have been replaced, and I thought that might fix the problem, but it looks like the motor's actually gone. So I think this is going to be a part 2 maybe. There might be a part 2 when I get a motor and just replace the motor and see how we get on with that. So watch this space and see how we get on. This is your Karcher WD3P hoover for the shed, and the replacement brushes didn't work. They were gone anyway. I mean, you've seen how bad they were. They were pretty gone, pretty much gone. So they needed replacing anyway, but the motor definitely has given up. Okay, so folks, we'll see you again for maybe part 2 if we get around to doing the part 2. I'm getting a motor for this, maybe second hand. If we can find one, that'd be pretty good. Cheers.
3 hours later.
So an update on the Karcher WD3P. I did do more investigating on the actual power cables and things like that, and I found out that it's not just the motor, but there's a circuit board built in inside the plastics which you can't get at unless you strip everything down, and I wasn't actually going to do that. It wouldn't be worth my while, and there's no guarantee that it was the circuit board or the actual motor. To buy a replacement motor, you're probably talking around on average about €50. Now Karcher themselves will repair technology and hoovers and all that kind of stuff, but when I contacted Karcher and asked them the price, they said the minimum fee for taking something in to have a look at it is €100. But a new motor costs about €57, between 50 and €57 to buy, and I'm not sure whether it's the motor, I'm not sure whether it was the circuit board inside the actual hoover. But you can buy a brand new Karcher WD3 for €100 on Screwfix, or if you buy it through the download app, you get 10% discount, so €90. So I could buy a new motor and plug it in and find out that it's not the motor, it could be the circuit board as well, and I'd have to strip it down. It's just not economically viable to actually try and repair this hoover when a replacement is pretty much quite cheap, and you might even pick up a second-hand one on eBay or adverts anyway. So there's no point in doing that. So I'm afraid in this situation, when it comes to repairing, it's not economically viable to do it. So I will take out the good parts on this hoover. It'll probably be recycled. If we put the plastics in a recycle bin, we could do that, and then that part could be recycled. But I'll take off the bits that I think I could use for something else, another project, and then we'll take it from there. But thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see and you want to see more projects either getting fixed or getting made or repaired or what have you, just like and subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you.